Before we continue with this video, visit my new business venture, carmarshal.com. For your next vehicle purchase, we advertise over 100,000 vehicles nationwide. That's carmarshal.com. The link is in the description.
It was a wrong, it was an accident, but it happened.
I'm so sorry. What did I do?
It's sad. It's really sad. No one should have to relive a tragedy 3 times over.
Over and over every year.
These folks are being victimized twice.
The ugly truth behind government mistakes: victims linger for years. FL victims wait a decade or more for government to pay. No victim of tragedy will ever tell you surviving is easy. But this story isn't about moving on, it's about being stuck in a state system its own people admit is nearly broken. 5 years later, Lillian Beacham is revealing what it's like to battle for justice when the government is on the other side. It's awful, I mean, the whole process is awful, said Beacham. Lillian Beacham. Awful began March 26, 2012. 9-year-old Aaron was riding the St. Lucie County school bus home when his bus driver turned straight into the path of an oncoming semi. Aaron, strapped in closest to the point of impact, was one of 30 students on the bus that day. He was the only student killed. You just think about the things that you've missed. There are lots of things in 5 years that we've missed, said a tearful Beacham from her St. Lucie County home. Aaron Beacham. The family sued. After an emotional week-long trial in 2015, a jury found the St. Lucie County School District 87% at fault. The Beachams were awarded $8.6 million in damages. Closure? Hardly. It's unjust. I think we were beaten down, said Beacham. Here's why. When families sue a government agency over a mistake, courts don't always have the final say. In fact, once families end their battle in a courtroom, a new fight often begins just to get the agency to pay for its mistake. In Florida, that battle involves lawmakers in Tallahassee who have to approve these payouts in a process known as a Florida Claim Bill. It's a system notorious for turning personal loss into lengthy political showdowns with backroom deals, hired lobbyists, and desperate pleas. The hardest part is reliving this over and over again, said Beacham, who ended up making multiple trips to Tallahassee with her husband and even had to hire a lobbyist to fight the St. Lucie County School District, who maintained that it could not afford to pay the Beachams the jury verdict they were awarded. Why are we selling ourselves, like door-to-door salespeople knocking on people's doors just asking them like a handout? It's shameful, she said about the claim bill process. You're suing the king is what they say, said Tracy Woldgemuth, who eventually stopped tracking the progress of her daughter's claim bill after the Pasco County Sheriff's Office spent years fighting the $8.4 million in damages a judge awarded her during a civil trial nearly a decade ago. As is the case with most claims bills that are challenged, if a claims bill is challenged by a government agency, lawmakers rarely hear it. I had no idea what we were up against. It's ugly, very ugly, Woldgemuth said, visibly exhausted talking about the process. Her daughter, Jenny, was 21 years old when her car was struck by a Pasco deputy chasing a suspect. Now 34 years old, Jenny will never drive again or live alone. She can't remember 5 minutes ago and hasn't been paid a dime for the brain injury she'll live with for the rest of her life. No, it's never been about the money, Woldschmuth said. It's always been about justice and doing the right thing. I think without a doubt the state of Florida has one of the worst claims bill processes that you could possibly have, said veteran FL Representative Evan Jen, D. Hollywood. It's a rigged game where the best lobbyist can get the job done, he said. Jen spent years trying to revise Florida's system for compensating victims of government mistakes. Last session, he introduced a bill to reform the claim bill process, but it went nowhere. Changing a process that currently favors big government and big insurance, he knows, is no easy fix. There are very powerful folks on the other side who would like to see nothing change, said Jen. Jen believes one of the first steps to making the state's claim bill process more fair to victims is to increase Florida's limit on how much victims can get paid without a claims bill. Florida's cap is currently $200,000 versus other states with caps of $1 million. In 2013, the statewide nonprofit research group Florida's Tax Watch studied Florida's claim bill process and described it as too arbitrary, too political, and lack equity and transparency. You're just angry because you want this to be resolved, you want some sort of closure, said Beecham. Last spring lawmakers approved the Beecham's claim bill after the SST. Lucey County School District finally agreed to pay $1.5 million of the $8.6 million jury verdict. How many times did I want to go through this? How many times did my family want to go through this? Asked Beecham. Last spring lawmakers also approved Jenny Woldschmuth's claim bill after the Pasco County Sheriff's Office finally agreed to pay $2.6 million of the $8.6 million jury verdict. It took a decade. It's not a victory they won. Jenny didn't win, they won, said Wogelmuth. It's a process created in the 1970s to protect tax dollars, but it often leaves victims stuck in the government's own mistakes. Don't punish families for a process, said Lillian Beecham. Florida Tax Watch offered the following recommendations for claims bill process reform. Create an expedited process for settled claim bills. Limit lobbying fees. Make the actual amounts paid for medical expenses admissible at trial and in claim bill hearings and use actual compensation as estimates for future medical costs. Explore requiring that the sponsor of a claims bill be from the jurisdiction where the incident took place or from where the claimant resides. Allow local government to use periodic payments of judgments. The ugly truth behind government tragedies.
The last thing that I wrote was head cereal.
No victim of tragedy
Sometimes I forget what she was like before.
will ever tell you
I don't even remember what I did all day.
She's my little girl in an adult body.
surviving is easy.
He would have been 16 this year coming.
But this story isn't about moving on.
Shameful.
It's about
Sad. It's really sad.
being stuck
I was thinking it was Sunday.
in a state system
It's ugly, very ugly.
its own people admit
It's a sad, cold process.
is nearly broken.
It's a system that needs a complete overhaul.
This was how his desk was set up.
5 years later, Lillian Beauchamp is revealing what it's like to battle for justice when the government is on the other side.
Aaron's artwork. It's awful. I mean, the whole process is awful. The whole process is awful.
Awful began March 26, 2012. 9-year-old Aaron was riding the bus home when the driver turned into the path of an oncoming semi.
I'm so sorry! What did I do?
Aaron was one of 30 students on the bus that day, and the only student to die.
You just think about the things that you've missed. Lots of things in 5 years.
The family sued. After a week-long trial, a jury found the St. Lucie County School District 87% at fault, awarding $8.6 million in damages. closure.
It's unjust.
Hardly.
I think we were beaten down.
You see, when families sue a government agency over a mistake, courts don't always have the final say. In fact, when families end their battle in a courtroom, a new fight begins to get those agencies to pay up. And that battle involves Florida lawmakers who have to approve these payouts in a process known as a Florida claims bill.
The hardest part is reliving this
over and over every year.
But that's sad.
After the Pasco County Sheriff's Office spent years fighting, Tracy Wolgemuth eventually stopped tracking her daughter's claims bill.
I had no idea what we were up against.
Jenny was 21 when her car was struck by a Pasco deputy chasing a suspect.
I have a scar right here.
13 years later,
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have a clue.
Jenny will never drive again or live alone.
Spaghetti last night?
You did?
Can't remember 5 minutes ago.
Did we have breakfast this morning?
Yeah.
And hasn't been paid a dime.
So no, it's never been about the money. It's always been about justice and doing the right thing.
I think, without question, the state of Florida has one of the worst claims bill processes that you could possibly have.
Veteran State Representative Evan Jenny of South Florida has tried changing Florida's system for years.
There are very powerful folks on the other side of this issue that would like to see nothing change.
One idea, increasing Florida's limit on how much victims can get paid without a claims bill. Right now, Florida's cap is just $200,000. Other states, $1 million.
You're just angry because, you know, you just want this to be resolved. You want some sort of closure.
This month, closure came after the school district finally paid for the crash that took Aaron. But the $8.6 million jury verdict whittled down to $1.5 after the claims bill process. The district spent nearly $700,000 to fight.
What do you think the death of a 9-year-old is worth? It's sad. It's really sad.
It's filled out.
Jenny is also finally getting paid for the government mistake that stole her memory. $8.6 million, now $2.6 million, after her Tallahassee battle went on for an entire decade.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not a victory. They won. Jenny didn't win. They did.
A process created to protect tax dollars, often leaving victims stuck in the government's own mistakes.
Don't punish families for a process.
Katie Legrone, WPTV News Channel 5.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just I'm just letting you guys know it's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers. It's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, that old video, that's not working. They're not. They're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in, no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.